Hey, what's up everyone? Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids. Today we're going to be talking about fire. If you've been out in the woods, whether it's a survival situation, working on bushcraft skills, camping, hiking, whatever it is, you probably know the importance of fire. So Exotac contacted me and said, hey, do you want to take a look at some of our products? I already carry one of their products as an EDC item, and so I said, yeah, let me check out some others. They sent me a handful of products. I want to show you some ones that I've used and that I can tell you about. There are a lot of things I like. There's some things you should be aware of as well. But let's take a look at these products and see maybe if they fit into some of your systems. The first one is this, which is the Nano Striker XL. Next up we have their fire rod. Third is this, which is the Nano Spark. Fourth we have the fire sleeve. And last up we have the Tinder Tin with Fat Wood Splinters. So let's talk about the Nano Striker XL. This is an EDC item for me. I'll show you, it's on my keychain right now. What you've got is this little item. Twist off the top and you've got your striker right there. Twist off this next section and you have your fire steel right there. All right, so you take it apart, you've got your striker here, I've got it looped around my fingers. You've got the fire steel with this little gray section and then the rest of the storage container. What you're gonna do is spin this around and then thread it like this. Now you've got a good solid handle for your fire steel and you've got your striker and you're ready to go. So like I said, I do carry this on my keychain here, as you can see, and it's pretty beat up. I've had it for a while, I've used it quite a bit. Let me just show you how well it works. I took the little lanyard off. It's just an extra string that I don't want hanging off my keychain. Just got to be careful for me not to lose the striker. But you can see it's definitely used, and here's what the spark looks like. Hold it perpendicular to your fire steel. Works great, and one of my favorite things is when the fire steel runs down, it's threaded so you can take it out, get rid of it, and replace it with a new one. So obviously I like this enough, it's become an EDC item for me, and yeah, I would definitely recommend it. The one thing I'll tell you is really crank down all the different sections, and they do come with an extra O-ring, so replace that when it starts to wear out, but really crank it down, because the last thing you want is to want to start a fire with your fire steel and to look and to find out that your striker's missing, or even worse, that your actual fire steel is missing. So that's the Nano Striker XL. Definitely a thumbs up item when it comes to starting fire and something you can use as an everyday carry item. As you can see, it comes with a little ring and I've attached it to my keychain with that. Next up we've got the fire sleeve, and this item has got some wins and it also has some needs improvement in my opinion. So it looks like it's clear. This is actually glow in the dark, so you can see the orange, my orange lighter through that, but this is exposed to light and then it'll glow in the dark, which is cool. So if you drop your lighter anywhere, but particularly out in the woods, it's easier to find. You got this cap, you can take this off, put it on the bottom. The general concept is it's to keep your lighter from getting wet. The cap goes on and you can see kind of those three little lips or sort of gaskets. This slides down over. I'm gonna push it down, and then when I release it, you can see it's gonna pop up a little bit. What I'd like to see is this to click in place, and in the meantime, what I would recommend if you get this is run some paracord through this loop and then through here, and then kind of compress it down and tighten it up. That way it'll stay dry and your cap won't fall off. And even, you know, if you ran some paracord through here and here, when you take the cap off, this could hang loose. You don't have to worry about losing it. I think the concept is cool. I think the glow in the dark concept is cool. I think if it rides in your pack, that's fine. I did find putting this in my back pocket and just walking, this thing started to loosen up. And so I think there's some improvements to be made in this one for the future. But the baseline concept of keeping your lighter dry and also being able to find it with this glow in the dark lower section is cool. They just need to make some changes to improve it for the future. Next up we got this, which is the fire rod. It's a fire steel with some extra bells and whistles that I think make it worth considering. So again, this is threaded, so I've got it down, cranked down pretty tight there, but when your fire steel runs out, you can replace it with a new one. It does come with a little lanyard. It comes with an extra O-ring. You can see I have tested it out and used it. But this top section actually unscrews, and inside the little handle there, you've got, let me get this out here, you got some fire starter. So you're gonna fluff this thing up and then strike it with a spark off your fire rod and get your fire going. Now the one thing to let you know is that there's no striker with this, so you may want to just throw a little piece of hacksaw blade or something like that on the lanyard, or obviously if you have a knife with the spine that you can, you know, strike the fire rod, you're good to go. But again, I like the fact you can replace these, and the fact that I've got my tinder with me already. That's a win. It's those little systems within your bigger systems that really make a difference, I think. Next up here we have the Exotac Nano Spark, and I gotta be honest with you, when I first saw this I was like, yeah, not interested. I wasn't interested at first because I use the Ultimate Survival Technologies Spark system like this, whatever it's called over there, in a kit that I shot a video of probably a month or so ago, and it was fine, but I'd take a fire steel or a lighter over that pretty much any day. That being said, this thing is similar but just works better overall. So gives you a nice big spark. I want to let you know you shouldn't hold it like this because the spark's going to land on your hand. I would recommend you light it like this, but watch this spark here. So a nice big spark to, you know, get a fire started, and once again stored in this section you got some tinder. So it's nice to have that as a combo. There's a little opening there you can run a lanyard through, attach it to a piece of gear, attach it to a knife system, attach it to your EDC gear, and yeah, just it's kind of cool. So again, I was skeptical, but now that I've seen it, tested it out, and we're going to show you what this one looks like in use in a minute to actually get a fire started. But yeah, this one was meh at the beginning, and now that I've seen it, kind of a cool concept. This last item is kind of cool. It's the Tinder Tin with Fat Wood Splinters. On the front you can see Made in the USA. You also see burn time, flammability, and water resistance. So they're rating the fat wood at, you know, how it functions in each of those three areas. This is not the ultimate fire starting item ever, but fat wood's a good way to get a fire started. It is not waterproof. It doesn't have an O-ring, but it's, you know, unless you throw this underwater and keep it underwater there, if it gets dripped on or rained on, I think it should be fine. The other thing that's cool is when your fat wood runs out, you can fill it up with other things, more fat wood, birch bark. And I do want to show you inside. What I did was I took one of the pieces of fat wood out and I put the Nano Spark in there. So now you've got a little fire starting kit right here between the Nano Spark, the actual fat wood that's in the tin, and then the tinder that is included in the Nano Spark. So let's use this little system and actually get a small fire started. Let's get our fire started. I've got the tinder here. Let's fluff this up. So what we're going to do is we'll hit that with a spark, and then we'll feed some of the fat wood onto it to burn a little bit. Let's hit this with a spark. One shot, and that's up and going. Put a little bit of fat wood on it. Oh, as you can see, it kind of falls over a little bit. But there you go, definitely a cool little fire starting system between the Tinder Tin and the Nano Spark. Bottom line, we've got 5 different items to start fire, all from Exotac. I've got links down below in the description section if you want to purchase any of these. I've said this before if you've watched other videos of mine, but when it comes to wilderness survival, some people are like, your most important item is a knife. Other people think, you know, you should definitely have a whistle. All those things are really important. For me, fire is the #1 option, especially in New Hampshire. I want to stay warm. I can signal with it. I can cook with it, keep animals away, whatever it is. Fire is the #1 option for me. So make sure in whatever system you've got or you're building, you're thinking about how am I going to get fire started, because it can literally be a lifesaver. Thanks as always for checking out the videos. I'm going to ask you to click that thumbs up button, like this, share it, and also subscribe to Everyday Tactical Vids. More videos coming soon. Take care.